guys, I'm Ian, and welcome to La Cocina, and today we'll be making flour tortillas. You know, that delicious thing we have on tacos, probably breakfast, or literally any fancy dish or delicious dish, easy to make. But we don't have the ingredients laying around our house, so we regularly don't make it. But don't worry, come here, because I have a very simple way to make it and make it so delicious with no corn flour and pig fat, because we don't have that laying around our house. But what we do have is 500 grams of all-purpose flour. Yeah, or 2 cups, same thing. And we'll be adding 10 grams of salt, or it's just 2 teaspoons. Very simple like that. And we'll be needing our 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Add that in there, and you want to give it a nice little mix. You just want to make sure you don't see much of the baking powder or anything. You just want to see it all the same color. And after you've done that, just like that, you want to make a little hole in the middle. Trust me, I'll tell you later why. And we'll be needing, we're going to put that to the side, and we'll be needing 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Yeah, no pig fat or anything like that. We're just going to add that right in. And what we want to do is you want to mix everything like this. You just want to mix everything until you don't see it. But what we want here, we want to see this like sort of like a corn flour texture. It's not corn flour, it's just the texture. So what you see it's more flaky, more chunky, and that's exactly what we want. So after we see it's made this chunky flour, we will be needing our 1 cup or 200 ml of regular room temperature water. So we're just gonna add that in there, and you're gonna wanna mix. You're gonna need to do a lot of mixing here. Trust me on that one. So I'm just gonna mix it around, and this is the exact measurement you want. If your dough doesn't turn out as great as this one, it's alright. Just add a little bit more water if it's too dry, and if it's too watery, add a bit more flour. It's always fine. So we really need to knead this dough. As you can see, it's sticky, it's not good. We just want to keep adding the flour until we see no more flour in this bowl. And I'll be right back to you guys when I finish it. I have completely mixed the dough, but I didn't mix completely because you don't want it to. So I'm going to teach you a few methods of how to knead the dough, because it's more of a different technique. So what you want to do is you want to scoop everything out on an open area. Everything out. Don't miss any of the flour or anything. And you do want a nicely floured surface. So just going to add a bit of flour, and we're just going to put it around here. Mix it around. Make a nice non-sticky. So what we want to do is we want to just keep doing this. We want to stretch the dough. We want to knead it until it's the nice silky dough that we want. So what we do is you grab this, you fold it in. Now what you do unless is do that. And oh, my hands are sticky here, huh? Yeah, so when you're making this, your hands are gonna get sticky. So I recommend not using gloves because it's all gonna stick to the plastic. It's gonna be irritating to take off. I just recommend this simple method. I mean, how much does it hurt? Just a little bit of mess on your hands. Exactly how much? So as you can see, my dough is just a tiny little sticky, and that's fine. We're just gonna add a pinch of flour on top, and we're gonna keep mixing. So as you can see, method I told you, just a little sticky. Stretch, put in. Stretch, put in. In every single way you can imagine. So you just wanna keep doing this to the dough. So you can see, my dough isn't turning out the best, but you guys might be struggling this, so I'm going to tell you a method of how to get the dough nice and perfect. You guessed it, add more flour. You want to keep adding more flours to this, and more, and more, and more, until it's nice and not sticky. My hands are still messy, so yeah, just I'm gonna take it. As you can see, this dough isn't very hard to get off. So that's another upside. So as you can see, my dough is turning out to be that sticky, but still a little sticky. We want this dough to be completely not sticky. So, almost done here, guys. Almost done. The video is not going to be a very long one, not like the other ones. Other ones usually a very long explanation on everything else. This video is not going to be one. So as you can see, a nice little ball. So we're going to let this little boy chill here for 10 minutes. We're just going to make sure that the baking powder is working and making its magic. So I'll be right back to you guys when this is finished. After 10 minutes of letting this sit, as you can see, it's just grown a little fatter. And see, nice dough, a nice relaxed dough. That's what we want. So now we're sort of gonna make it like a pizza. We're gonna be flattening it right now. We want it to be a very flat. So as you can see, flattening out. It's still a little sticky, which is perfectly fine. You know what you'll add? It's a very important ingredient. Flour, of course, more flour. You're gonna keep adding flour to this dough. That's why it's called flour tortillas. Wow. So now we got our rolling pin. Now we're gonna be flattening it out. You can see this little guy does not want to be flattened, but don't worry, it will. So you can see it's sticking a little, so what I recommend is you get flour, and you rub it all over the rolling pin. So as you can see, it's not really sticking a little, but don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. So, this dough really does not like to cooperate with me. As you can see, flattening it, and you guessed it, flattening it even more. So, you can see, you want to keep making this dough flatter, because you don't want a very thick tortilla. The tortilla is just there to hold the item, and it's a little bit there for the taste, just a little, not much. So if you see a damp spot like that, add flour, and you just cover it right up to make it look pretty, and so it doesn't stick. So you can see. So now we have a long elasticated dough. It's going to sort of form it into a square. I want to get any type of cutter or anything like that. And you're wondering, Ian, this is really thick. Why? Because we're going to get little pieces and we're going to thicken them. Because you don't want to be thick. So you want to grab this, cut a little one, or you can use a bowl, you can use anything to cut it. As you can see, I made this little disc. As you can see, now we're going to flatten it. So you can sort of do this like a pizza, any method you guys like. Wanna just grab a rolling pin, you wanna just flatten it. By the way, just a disclaimer, tortillas aren't perfect, so try to form them like a circle, but don't worry if they're not the most beautiful ever. So I'm just gonna finish flattening all these out and I'll be right back to you. All the little doughs, and I got one right here. I've made sure it's pretty flat, and yeah, I'm holding it like a pizza. So I have turned my pan to around 7 heat, so that means sort of a bit above medium. So when we see the pan is very hot, we wanna just, there. We wanna see the bubbles start forming, and we're gonna be needing a spatula for this. There's 2 reasons why. First reason is to, of course, flip it, and the second is to click that like button down below and click that subscriber down below. Let's get this video to 15 likes, and I'll be right back. For a little bit, and as you can see, it is perfect, nicely cooked. Wanna flip that and put it on a plate. And what I technically just straight up love to do is grab cream cheese, fresh cream cheese, put it on there, it'll melt. I really recommend. So let's try it. Oh, hot. Perfect. Nice, chewy, not really chewy, just a little chewy. Cheese melted, perfect. But what I do recommend, if you're making tacos, make the meat before, then make the tortillas fresh, so they don't harden. Because I have experienced that when I tried making tacos, it got hard and it didn't taste bad, but necessarily not good. So, goodbye guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. It's a really quick one, so enjoy.